Why are men not approaching women in the church? Girl, we about to find out. We about to find out. Like, we about to find out today. Like, the Inside Out Singles is about to tell us, the men's edition, they're about to give us the tease as to why men don't approach women in the church.
I saw this girl on TikTok say that if you're out and like you're really beautiful, your outfit's on point, you look great, you look confident, but men are not approaching you, that it's because you're just a little too heavyweight for them. First, I was like, what does heavyweight mean? But then she explained how like when a man goes to the gym, they pick up the weights that they know that they can carry. If they can only bench 70 pounds, they're not gonna go grab a 140 pound weight and bench it. They know that that's gonna be a problem. So if they're not approaching you, it's probably because you are above their weight. You are above their capacity, and they just know that they cannot handle a woman like you. Whether that be that you maybe look like you are high maintenance or like nice things and they know their financial situation, whether you look really emotionally intelligent and they don't feel like they're on your level. I mean, it could be a myriad of things. The point is that it's not a reflection of you. Don't take it personally if you're not getting approached. Always remember that. Know your worth within and never doubt yourself based on external factors.
Men aren't failing at dating. A lot of them are just quitting. Not because they're lazy, and not because they don't want connection, and not because they're incapable of commitment, but because dating no longer feels like it leads to anywhere meaningful. For many men, it feels like this endless effort with unclear outcomes. Conversations go nowhere. Dates don't build into anything. Standards feel inconsistent. And the whole process starts to feel less like building a future and more like trying to win a game where the rules keep changing. So eventually, a man starts asking a simple question. Is it worth my time, my energy, my focus, and my peace? And when that answer keeps coming back, no, he redirects. He works more, he trains harder, he builds his independence, he focuses on money, fitness, career, and control. And none of those things are bad, entirely. Because most men still want a relationship. They still want a woman, and they still want a future. What they don't want is chaos. They want clarity, consistency, mutual investment, a sense that what they are building is actually going somewhere. So maybe the real issue is not that men have stopped wanting love. Maybe the issue is that dating has stopped feeling like a serious path toward building something worthwhile. And when purpose disappears, participation follows. The forge is ready. Let's get to work.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. And another thing you have to understand is that modern women, they keep on trying to make men feel guilty about backing up, about not helping, about protecting themselves, staying to themselves. That's a form of protection. Well, how come a man won't protect me? How come a man won't provide? How come a man just going his own way? Because you've shown that man that you're a bona fide problem. You've shown that man that you're not safe to be around. You've shown that man that you can't keep your mouth closed, especially when it matters. And I'm not about to put myself in danger messing around.
And this is why I advocate for men to focus on their purpose, and trust me, everything else will follow. I promise.
It is far better for a woman to be obsessed with a man than a man to be obsessed with a woman. If a man's obsessed with a woman, he takes his eye off the prize. He's nowhere close to being as productive, competitive, or successful. He gets in his emotions, gets in his feelings. He starts to make mistakes. That has a deleterious effect on his outcomes.
Yes.
However, when a woman's obsessed with a man, that man tends to have better outcomes. When a woman is obsessed with her man to the point to where she's willing to be inspirational to him, he has better outcomes. And who benefits from those outcomes? She does. Well, wait a minute. Somebody needs to love somebody more. And gentlemen, she needs to love you more than you love her. That's a hard pill to swallow, ladies. But to the guys I'm talking about, gentlemen, never get involved with a woman who you need to love her more than she loves you. And I know a lot of women have been told, I've been told that he needs to love you more than you love him. Right. And that's why we have such a high divorce rate, and women can end up walking away from marriages and relationships like this.
Listen.
Because they don't care. And that's on you guys. Is she writing love letters to you? If you're going to be out here dealing with them, you better do what it takes to stay top of mind with her. All women are this way.
I think modern women believe that dudes are just going to let them just run rampant. Just do whatever you want. Just be however you want. I know I'm about to clown you. I know I'm about to act a fool. Go ahead. Why not? Go ahead. This is what a lot of modern women are thinking that men are going to let them do. But men are tired of that nonsense. And what you're running into is men not receiving you, or not being as receptive to being walked all over as they used to be. See, you caught a man when he was being a gentleman, But now he's like, I don't know.
Your ex moved on really fast. A lot of times that's more because they are trying to fill a void in their heart. So usually the right way to respond to a breakup is to be alone for a little while, get with the Lord, pray about it, clear your heart if there's anything that's lingering there, and take time to heal. And I feel like one of the reasons why people immediately jump into another relationship and move on so fast is because they are skipping over that process, and that desire to fill that void becomes way more important to them than actually getting true inner healing. And that's why one thing you'll see happen a lot is they will move on to another person. They'll fizzle out, right? Because usually those rebounds typically don't last very long. Then they'll circle back to that ex that they never truly moved on from in the first place because they just so quickly try to fill a void. So sometimes people do jump into rebound relationships because they are holding unforgiveness towards their ex. Instead of forgiving them and moving on from the situation, jumping into a new relationship sort of lets them overlook that, and they can just be like, oh, it's okay, like, I don't really care, because now this other person is now filling that void that should really be being filled with the Lord. God will heal your heart, right? God will heal those wounds, right? He'll put you back together. A person isn't going to do that, right? Only God can do that.
You know, these modern women are saying they want a man who courts. They want a man who knows how to date properly, knows how to plan a date, knows how to do all of that stuff. And that's fantastic. I think for me, it's just that I have to do all of this, and you just got to show up. Well, I went to work, I had to do this. So did I. Well, my car was broken, and this had happened, and so many troubles. Same. I had to fix my car too, or make sure it's not broken now, but it was once. And the employer didn't care. The women that I was dating before didn't care. That was my problem as far as they were concerned. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't really even know you. And so that's not you expecting to just, well, I'm just a girl and I just should be able to show up. No, you got to bring something to the table.
You're shaming your man for getting injured on Mother. How hard would it be to just take care of him for the weekend and then say to him, hey, I would love it if we celebrated Mother's Day next weekend. And clearly there's a communication problem here because you say you haven't had a good Mother's Day in 7 years. Well, what does that entail for you? Have you explained to him exactly what that looks like? And do you celebrate Father's Day? Do you reciprocate? Because what I've noticed is sometimes women will complain that they don't get a huge celebration on Mother's Day and then they do nothing for him on Father's Day. But yeah, shaming your man online is not going to get you the result you want. Because as soon as he sees this or hears about it through somebody else, he is just going to lose respect.
Here's the real reason that this guy that you would like to pursue you is not actually pursuing you. It's super simple. And this is not necessarily science backed, but very much data backed from a coach who's coached 400 men on when to pursue a woman, how to pursue a woman, what not to do when pursuing a woman. So why is it that men don't pursue?
He doesn't know how he feels about you.
How do you get him to feel the way that you want him to feel about you?
I think there's a lot of different ways, but consistently showing up is the best place to start. Men are looking for that validation, especially in the early stages. Mm-hmm. They want to know that you're interested. That is what stands out to them far more than anything else in the early stages, because that's what they're craving. I had
a guest sitting in that chair a little while ago, a gentleman. And I said, what's like the number one thing you look for in a woman? He said that she's interested in me. And this is a gorgeous, beautiful, handsome fellow who's sitting over here. If you think guys are slow on the uptake, which most women do think guys are slow on the uptake, which I mean, we're developmentally delayed in relationship capacity. If you think we're slow on the uptake, you're right. And the more obvious you can make it, the faster you're going to know if he's actually into you.
Absolutely.
And the less obvious you make it, the longer it's going to take to know, does this guy actually interested in me? Because the saying goes, men lead, but often women have to go first.
Yeah.
A lot of these modern women are terrible in the way that they maneuver in the world. A man would come, well, man, how come men don't approach anymore? How come men don't come up to us in the grocery store or the gas station? Well, the way you guys have maneuvered, the way you guys have run your mouth, the way you guys have really honestly and truly acted a fool. You guys have really gotten beside yourself in the way that you treat men that are, you know, really honestly and truly, to you guys, all men are the same. It don't really matter if a man comes up to you and says, hey, how you doing? My name is John. Versus a man, yo, what's up, ma? How you doing? Oh, you looking fine today, girl. You sexy. Turn around and shake that thing on me. Really don't even matter. So the man that was actually giving you respect, you treat him with the same level of respect that a man is coming up to you trying to dog you out.
How do I implement this? If I understand that men and women are different, how do I implement this in our relationship so that we thrive and we are enjoying each other and the passion is brought back? You know?
Yes.
Can you please share some of those specific tools? So we have the listening.
We have the listening. We have men.
But wait, actually, sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
I guess also, like, what's the purpose of this question? Is because people might be struggling. They might be feeling, oh, we're just not getting each other. We're just annoyed at each other all the time. And we're just, I'm just frustrated with him and I'm not enjoying our presence with each other. I feel like he doesn't like me. So the purpose then is, right, like to kind of, what is the purpose then? You answer that for me because I'm going to fumble it. You know?
And once again, men are starting to look specifically because, you know, before they was letting it go. They saw it, but they was letting it go. And now I'm looking specifically. Once again, we have to go back to drizzle. I'm looking specifically for who's putting in effort. Is the effort one-sided? Am I receiving some sort of reciprocity? Is the reciprocity up to par? Because you can't just buy me a Snickers bar and I didn't just bought you a 48-ounce tomahawk steak. We're not going to do that. Well, you did that out of the kindness of your heart. Right. And now you see how kind I am. Maybe you need to expand your kindness. Modern women don't want to do that. I want to give you these little beat up shoes that I found at Goodwill or Salvation Army that got dingy, dirty, and all that stuff. And you know, you can find some good stuff at Goodwill. You can find some good stuff. But the stuff that you be getting the man, it seemed like you done went dumpster diving. Oh, well, I found this on the side of the street. I thought of you. Girl, you stupid. Shut up talking to me.
I saw a really good video that completely pointed out something that I've been saying for a long time. And it's that we've all heard those stories where like our older grandparents will be telling like a dating story. And like you'll be sitting there being like, Grandpa, I'm pretty sure that was a little bit of like, you know, grape vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like we all know those stories of like, you know, your grandma being like, yeah, I turned him down 75 times, but then he showed up at my door and, you know, I locked him out and, you know, he broke through the door, but he had a radio box and he was playing the first song that I heard, you know, back when we met. So when you hear girls complaining about stuff like, oh, men don't approach anymore, or something about like men not chasing or something like that, that's a good thing. That is men responding to what they've heard with consent culture. Men are recognizing the fact that they're like, hey, you know, yeah, I don't really have to be doing all of that. Like typically, you know, if she's really that interested, I'm sure she's not going to, you know, reject me 6 times and not respond to any of my texts, you know. So I think I'm probably getting a little too crazy here. And then girls will use like references back in the olden days of like how the men used to be. Yeah, the men that didn't let you guys have bank accounts, the men that you guys would, you know, make videos about how are creepy because like your grandpa had to like break into this girl's house. Those are the men that you're going to say that we're not like anymore. I thought that's a good thing because newsflash, you shouldn't have to chase anybody, whether you're a male or female. If somebody likes you, they like you. You should never feel the need that you have to chase, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
At some point in time, modern women have gone to, with the way they speak to men, they make it seem like they've gotten their degree in social work. They make it seem like they've completed a substantial amount of coursework in therapy, in counseling, with the way that they talk to men, with the words that they say to men, with the way that they try to take the language that they learned in therapy and weaponize it against men. Oh, you're a narcissist. No, I'm not. That's not the definition of it. Oh, well, you're this and you're that and you're misogynistic and no, I'm not. You don't know the definition of that. There's plenty of videos out here where a man is asking a woman because she says, well, I think this is misogynistic. Well, what is that? Silence. because you don't know what you're talking about. And that's what they try to do with, oh, you're gaslighting me. Oh, you're a narcissist. What does that mean? And how is that narcissism? Silence. Because I don't know what the heck that I'm talking about. I can say that I've done the healing and the inner work. And men already know I'm full of BS. I'm full of bullcrap. Because I'm just talking nonsense. That's the position that a lot of modern women are in today.
If you're a man, do you agree with this comment? Because I actually think it's the perfect explanation for why dating has become crap and why more men aren't going to dating events. The first problem is men don't even realize that these events are out there. And so first of all, we have an awareness issue. The second problem is those that are thinking about events then get intimidated to go because they fear the rejection. And the opposite is true. Think about it this way. If you went out with your friends to the pub, you're full of a room of people in relationships, people who may be single but have no interest in flirting with you that night, or people who may or may not fancy you. Whereas at a dating event, you know that everybody in the room is single and everybody wants to talk to everybody else. No one wants to stand alone and everyone wants to be approached, if not also approach other people. Women have woken up to this idea that dating events are a great opportunity to just get out there, meet people organically, see if there's a connection in real life. For some reason, men haven't figured that out yet, and all the men are still on the apps. And it's actually proven. A lot of apps have more men than women, and a lot of events have more women than men. So we've got this gender imbalance issue, and we're all just trying to meet each other. So I really appreciate that you don't want to get rejected at a dating event, but A, rejection is life, and B, you're actually less likely to get rejected at a dating event than you are in the wild, and I really want you to try one.
And a lot of these modern women, what they want with their entitlement and their unrealistic standards is they want a man who's finished. They want a man who's stable, right? I want a successful man. But what do you offer? Well, I can offer you confusion. I can offer you an attitude. I can offer you having to work hard the rest of your life and then be happy about it. That's what I can argue. That's what I can offer you. I can offer you at the most inconvenient times for you that I have a headache. My stomach hurts. A rat is underneath my armpit and won't come out. Just any excuse not to do what you've signed up and committed and promised to do. See, modern women don't really have a problem telling you and reminding you of the things that you promised. But when you say, okay, this is what you promised me. Yeah, but I'm not about to let myself be mishandled. Mishandled? How? Well, I just don't feel like it. And you trying to force me to do it. Well, modern women will figure out any way not to do what they're supposed to be doing, but hold you to what you said you would do.
Men stay in relationships because leaving costs more than people realize. Men know when the relationship is over and it's time to leave, but knowing and leaving are two different things. Men stay because they know that they've invested time, energy, reputation, money, and plans. More importantly, they stay because they don't want to fail publicly. They don't want to start over. They don't want to hurt children if they are involved. And most of all, they never want to look like they gave up. One thing I know about a man, they are very, very optimistic. They believe that things will improve. And they put it all on their shoulders if they work harder, if they provide more, if they're more patient. And sometimes they stay because they hope the woman that they met will somehow come back in the relationship. Unfortunately, men actually have to process leaving. They don't leave when they know. They leave when things get super heavy and it's just unbearable. And when a man makes that final decision to leave, it is rarely sudden. It is after a long period of silence, emotional withdrawal, and adjustment. Men never make impulsive decisions like that. They walk away completely exhausted. But to the woman that he's walking away from, it's absolutely sudden. She does not realize all of the things that she has done to hurt him, all of the things that she has not been doing in the relationship. All of a sudden, breaks loose because now she's emotionally broken down because she did not realize what he was plotting. But the truth is, she created everything for him to walk out the door, and she doesn't even realize it.
So I honestly think up until this point, modern women have been real clear about the stuff that they do and they don't want, right? Well, I don't want this part of tradition, but I do want this part of tradition over here. And consequently, it seems to always be the part of tradition that benefits you the most. Interesting. And they're dishonest about, well, you know, that's misogynistic. So what they do, knowing that they have to sacrifice, knowing that they would have to work and reciprocate, they just say, well, everything the man wants is misogynistic. So we can't, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that anyway because the patriarchy hurts you. Now, I get it. I understand it. You talk about the patriarchy, talking about the system. There are some parts of the system that as a man, it hurts you too. Got it. Understand it. I agree. But why is it that nothing in the system that you want hurts you? When it comes to the stuff that you want, and it's a part of the patriarchy, it's a part of the old system, that's healthy. We need to keep on doing that. Those are the things that we need to keep. But when it comes to what a man wants, you see, it's just ingrained in you. You're a bad person. You can't do anything about it. We have to train you. We as a society, we as women have to train that up out of you. It's the patriarchy, man. You gotta get it up out of you.
If a girl does this, never speak to her again. This situation happens sometimes, and guys oftentimes don't see it for what it is. If a woman wants to take a break with you, or she leaves you for another guy, essentially, never speak to her again. Do not try to get her back. Do not allow her to put you in her friend zone by continuing to help her with things in hopes that she'll change her mind and you'll still be around. Simply accept that she's moved on. She's no longer interested, because I am telling you guys, even if she changes her mind at some point, it'll be temporary, meaning she's just gonna put you through it again and then she's gonna dump you again. And in the meantime, for the entirety of that relationship or whatever you wanna call it, she is not going to respect you. And that is the worst part, because you'll be stuck in this cycle of wanting to prove yourself time and time again, and she's going to tell you how unworthy you are as a person. By the time you come out of that type of relationship, you're gonna have to stay single for 3 or 5 years just to recover from it. That's why you just gotta close the book while you can and save yourself the hassle.
If you wanted to destroy your marriage, you wouldn't cheat. You wouldn't walk away. You would do something far worse. Here are the 3 things in the most effective way for your marriage. Number 1, stop having sex. Not just physically though, emotionally. You stop touching, you stop initiating, stop desiring each other. And you tell yourself that it's normal, we're tired, we're busy, we've been together long enough. But what you're really doing is removing the intimacy from the relationship. And without intimacy, you're not partners anymore, you're roommates. Number 2, start taking each other for granted. Stop saying thank you. Stop noticing the effort. Stop showing appreciation. You will assume they'll always be there. So you stop showing up. And over time, what used to feel special starts to feel like a chore. And that's where resentment grows until one day, everything they do annoys you. Number 3, avoid the truth. You feel the distance, but you don't address it because it's easier, right? It's easier than having the uncomfortable conversation that you desperately need to have. But what you don't say builds and builds and builds until there's nothing left to fix, because now you're not fighting, you're just indifferent, and indifference is the final stage. That is when it's over, and that is how marriage dies. So if things feel off right now, don't ignore it, because the small things you're avoiding today are the exact things that will cost you everything tomorrow.
And a lot of times you'll see dudes perform old school stuff, traditional stuff, chivalrous acts, being generous, being a gentleman, the whole 9 yards, right? But I think a lot of times they don't get the respect back. There's nothing that comes back. Not a thank you, not a tap on the shoulder, not a smile, not a chuckle. A lot of these modern women don't even glance in your direction. They're not even looking in your direction, man. They just walking through the door, just waltz through the door, just walk in front of you, man. Hey, modern women don't treat men as human beings. They treat a dog as more of a human being than a man. They treat a cat, they treat a rat, bars, as more of a human being than a man. They treat that man like dirt. You're less than dirt. You're not even an object. I don't even see you. And this is what meant, man. You know those automatic doors that just you walk up to it and it just opens, or a button you just push. You know, if you're handicapped, I know a lot of people, they're not handicapped and they use it anyway. You push the button, the handicap, the door opens, right? For assistance. That's what modern women think that men are. They think that men are technology, just an automatic thing that's supposed to be there. They really feel like a man is supposed to act like that. I don't have to acknowledge you. You're just there. You're just an object.
Yo, women just don't appreciate nice guys.
So I had a boyfriend years ago and I was younger. I had to go to work and he stayed at the house and slept for a little bit. And when I got home, he had did a light cleaning of my house, washed my dishes, and left flowers and a card on my bed, and then left a toy on each one of my kids' beds, and it was just super nice. I didn't appreciate it back then, but nowadays, where is that energy? Maybe I'm too old for that.
As women get older and continue to have experiences, they start to have regrets. Like this one right here. Remembering a dude she used to be with that was doing all that nice and that's what we be saying, yo. Nice guys, unfortunately, they finish last because modern women have this inflated ego and feel they deserve the world just for being alive. It was a small sample size here, but washing her dishes, cleaning up her crib, even she had kids that obviously weren't his, and he did little things for them, which is crazy. But again, a nice guy, and look what happened. They broke up. She went out into the market, dated mad dudes, because apparently she's talking in the past tense, she's tired of what's happening in the now. Where's that energy? Because she has not found it since. But you see, women don't appreciate nice things, and it's not until they get older in a place where I'm getting older, I'm not with nobody, I already have my kids, but no one for me. And then she remembers good old probably David, who did something for her in the past, a lot more than what any dudes was doing for her now, because she was in her hot girl summer mode, or was just getting her back blown out for the time being, looking for Mr. Right in her preferences. And now, the wall has hit, you're getting older, and nobody really wants this. And then putting yourself on TikTok in this way, that you regret the nice guy you had and that now you wish guys were like that. I mean, it just screams desperate and regretful.
Yo, so I'm just gonna say it. Men that hold on to women, knowing that they don't want to be in a relationship with them, knowing that they don't want anything serious, knowing that they just want to play games, but they know that that's a good woman, yo, it's time to let them go, because they're just holding you back and they don't want to be with you. They're just playing games.
In most relationships, the man is along for her ride. You can say men are the leaders all you want, but in modern relationships, the man is along for her ride. This is what you got to understand, and here's why. This is one thing that I've realized about dating and relationships over the past 10 years. Women typically do not do anything that they do not want to do, okay? However, men typically do a lot of things that they don't want to do. And I'm talking minute for minute, hour for hour, second for second, where you put your time. If she says, do you want to go bike riding with me? He says yes. If she says, babe, we should go buy rollerblades and let's go rollerblading, he goes and buys them and they go rollerblading. If she says, babe, I really want to go on a trip, I want to go on a vacation, he says, let's book it. If she says, I want to go to this restaurant, guess what happens? He goes there. Because men are simple, men like their peace, and men just go along with things because we don't want chaos. However, if you take a look at most relationships, if that man says to that woman, hey babe, let's go to this restaurant tonight, he's typically going to get a, I don't feel like it. Not in the mood. You can go there with your friends. And she exits. What I can tell you is women are very, 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 very good at putting themselves first. And the more you emulate that behavior as a man, you get ahead. And what you're going to notice is women actually will start to cooperate more with you She will actually be along for your ride. And deep down, this is what she actually wants. This is what she actually craves. Most men just don't have the frame or the backbone to walk away and say, no, I'm going to go do this anyways.
Men, I have a question, and I want you to answer honestly. Genuinely, like, how do you feel about women making the first move? Like, if a woman were to approach you and tell you that she finds you attractive, she wants to get to know you better, like, asking for your number or, like, asking to, like, go out with you, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you appreciate someone coming up to you, or, like, do you want to be the one to do that? Like, does it almost feel like emasculated?
I see so many women saying that we need to feel emotionally safe in our marriage. And yes, we do. But when is the last time you checked if your husband feels emotionally safe with you? Wives forget that husbands have feelings too. Real ones. Deep ones. He just doesn't talk about them the same way we do. Most men were raised to stay quiet, stay strong, and handle it on their own. So while we are asking for emotional safety, your husband might be sitting there wondering if he can have any sort of feelings at all. He won't say, I'm overwhelmed, but he will come home quieter. He won't say, I feel disconnected, but he will pull back a little. He won't say, I need you, but he will hope you notice something is off. Emotional safety cannot be one-sided. It is not just about us being heard and supported. It is also about making sure that our husband can open up to us without feeling judged or dismissed. So ask him, check in, make space for his feelings too, because he's human and he needs emotional safety just as much as we do.
You can't mistreat a good man and then be shocked when he stops being good to you. A good man, he'll take a lot. He'll be patient when you're difficult. He'll stay calm when you push his buttons. And because he keeps showing up, you think he's never going to leave. But what you don't understand about good men is that they don't leave loud. They leave quiet. One day he just stops caring. That's a man who finally accepted that his peace is worth way more than your approval. Good men don't turn bad. They just stop being good to people who punish them for being that way. And that's not a character flaw. That's a man who finally learned that loyalty without boundaries is just self-destruction.
This is why married women fall faster than single girls any day. This is a brutal truth, okay? You might not want to hear it, but I don't care. It's actually easier to sleep with a married woman than a single one in today's day and age. And once you understand why, you will never see that ring the same again. Single girls have walls 10 feet high. Married women, their walls were quietly demolished years ago by routine, silence, and a man who stopped noticing them. Here are the 6 reasons why she falls 10 times faster. Number 1. Zero pressure, maximum desire. She already has the husband. She just wants to feel wanted again. Number 2, built-in alibi. Girls' night and yoga classes cover her tracks. Number 3, starvation. One real compliment hits way harder than 1,000 Tinder matches. Number 4, forbidden multiplies everything. The danger turns attraction into obsession. Number 5, she's already justified it. Years of receipts in her head already. And number 6, no long-term consequences in her mind. That one time, it won't destroy my life. Yes, it will. If you're the other guy, she's in your passenger seat, wedding ring twisted inward, eyes shining like she's 22 again. She whispers, I forgot I could feel this alive, then kisses you like the last 10, 15, 20 years never happened. Single girls protect their bodies. Married women surrender their souls. This is happening right now to men who swore, oh no, not my wife. So if you're done gambling with the most important thing in your life and you finally want to become the man that she craves so deeply she'd never even think of looking elsewhere, you know what to do. Click the link in my bio, book a call with me, and let's dive into it together.
You can't ask for a traditional man with traditional values and be an independent woman. Yeah, the two don't go together. You can't expect him to pay the bills, hold all the doors open, take care of you from top to bottom, and then you can't even make him a sandwich. That means if he holds the doors open and pays the bills, you should cook and clean.
Exactly.
And if you don't accept that fact, he'll walk away and replace you with someone who does. Because trust me, you're not the prize. A man who's willing to pay all the bills and treat you like a princess is way more rare than you think. Men like this have a high sense of self-respect and like to lead. But if you want to talk back and nag him, he'll disappear faster than you appeared when you met.
If she didn't want you on her prime, do not take her at her decline.
I got to a point, I was 34. I said, look, I don't need no more boyfriends. I'm in my 30s and I wanted to do things God's way. I want to, get married. I'm ready for my husband, but I'm not going to date. And he was like, well, how does that work? I said, well, God is going to tell my friend when it's time that I'm his wife. And we did just that. The world is going to tell you no. Most men in the world are not going to understand that. That's why you got to align with a Christian man, an equally yoked man.
More like equally joked if you end up marrying a who's only marrying you because she feels her time is running out. These chicks are for the streets. They come from the streets, and she said it herself. They tell on themselves, no more boyfriends. AKA, I'm tired of getting my back blown out by dudes with dirty do-rags, holes in their wife beaters, smelly socks, Jordans, whatever the case may be. Dudes that they picked themselves because that's who they were attracted to. The guy that she's marrying, she would have never gave him a chance at her prime. The only reason she feels like this because she's 34, declining, running out of time, not getting married or chosen, and doesn't have any kids. So she's running to the church, want to get in with the church and get a good Christian man or a nerd because these dudes just have so much love to give and they don't know no better. So she's going to manipulate and take advantage of a man and tell him, yo, you got to pay the high price now that I found God after all the dudes got to hit this for free. And it sucks because, they think the Lord is just going to bless them or curse the man that's been on his purpose, been in the church with a woman like this that all of a sudden now finds God. Is finding God cool? Yes, it's an amazing experience. But when you use it as a sense of, now that I found God, I'm a reborn again virgin. You got to pay the highest price for this used car with 200,000 miles on it. We not doing that. And I hope a lot of Christian men realize that and get them a woman that's been in the church and know what that lifestyle is like, because this right here is dirty work.
And I'm single, and I'm just looking for somebody who likes to have fun and is a fun-loving type gal. Brunettes are something, and so are redheads or blondes. That's tall women or short, because height is in the eye of the beholder. If you think about it, because if someone who likes me for me is who I'm looking for, because I'm that type of guy who likes me and we could go out and do all kinds of things. I like all kinds of music. What I really want is someone who'll call me and will love me, because everyone I know is married, and I don't know anybody or anything, and it's just not right because I deserve love like anybody else. I don't need to rummage through the dumpster for a Playboy.
If you want your marriage to flourish and to last, you need to learn how to shut your mouth. Let me explain. I realized early in my marriage that my husband and I were having the same argument every single day. And if I was being honest with myself, the reason was because I didn't know how to shut up. I kept running my mouth. And if you don't know already, unfortunately, what happens in marriage is we start to subconsciously recreate what our childhood home was like. And although my parents are still married today, praise God, there was a long time where my parents were arguing every single day, where my home was very chaotic and there was threats of divorce constantly. So again, when I came into my marriage, I was subconsciously trying to recreate that culture in that environment simply because it was familiar to me. I'm telling you, even if there was no problem, I would still somehow make a problem out of nothing. And I thank God for my husband being the strong masculine leader that he is, because he never backed down. So husbands, learn from this and do not ever submit to your wife's tantrums, because you are the leader of the house. So you have to stand your ground and correct her in love. This also comes with continually reminding her and showing her that she's safe and that you're not against her, but that you are for her. But eventually there came a day where I had to look myself in the mirror and ask, when was I going to finally break this cycle? Even when my husband may actually be wrong, am I willing to submit my control and my pride and let God correct my husband? And I'm here to tell you, it wasn't until I made that decision to surrender that pride and that control and that need to stir up unnecessary strife and conflict, when I committed to being like the wise person that we read about in Proverbs, who says little words and responds to harshness with gentleness to defuse the situation. This is when my marriage began to truly flourish. No longer were my husband and I having having these daily arguments. And if conflict did arise, it was diffused almost immediately. I was at peace for the first time. I was calm. And my husband actually started to show me more love and affection because of this. We finally felt close and bonded again, all because I decided to take responsibility and accountability for my actions and learn how to shut my mouth and give up this need for drama. So take it from me.
That's sad, man, honestly. Of the mother, Kelly Bryant, she set Kelly Bryant's bond at $250 million. And she says if Bryant is able to pay that bond, she is not allowed to have any communications with her family. You're now looking at the mugshot they were able to get of Kelly Bryant. She is 34 years old, and she is facing 3 charges, that is 3 counts of first-degree child. She allegedly neglected her children in her home for years. What you're looking at now, or about to look at too, these images are graphic, but these depict the living conditions that Kelly Bryant's 3 children were allegedly living in. The living conditions of a 15-year-old boy and a 13 and 12-year-old girl.
It feels a little fake. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake, and there will be no fakeness and no gayness.
How charming. However, whenever I see this type of post, I always wonder to myself, do the types of women that make these particular styles of posts, do they actually ask any of the men to help them? Or do they just expect the men to help them because they are women and they are men, and that's stereotypically what men are supposed to do in their normal gender role, is help helpless women that can't do things for themselves? Because there are a lot of women out there that really don't seem to actually want to be viewed as independent. They want to be absolutely dependent on men, but yet at the same time will argue that they're equal to men. But I also noticed that they didn't say anything about women helping them with the baggage either. So I wonder if they asked any of the women. But honestly, I really think that this is just another way for some women that have absolutely nothing better to do with their time than to just find some random thing to complain about men for.
I really like you. I like you too. We should be together. See, I would, but I'm pretty emotionally unavailable. That's okay. I'm still hung up on my ex. Oh, okay, great. Then why don't we do all the things that couples do without actually calling ourselves a couple? That sounds awesome. That's definitely going to get messy later on when one of us develops stronger feelings for the other, which will definitely end things between us and only add more bricks to the walls we build inside ourselves. Yeah, but what are we going to do about it, right? Well, we could take some time alone and work on ourselves, and then once we're healed, we form a meaningful connection with somebody who actually cares about us. Yeah, we could. But I think what we have going on is just toxic enough for both of us to mistake it as love. You know what? You're right. I can't wait to spend the next 6 months of my life running in circles, confusing my friends, my family, and myself. Yeah, me too. So you want to hang out later? Oh, you mean go on a date? We don't call it that. We don't call it that. No, I wish we did though. I really wish we did.
When I was 21, I was in a relationship with a doctor, and he taught me some very important things about relationships with men with money. And I want to share that with you because I wish somebody would have told me when I was 21. Date for character. Don't date for money. And I say that because just because a man has money does not mean that he's not toxic. Doesn't mean that he's going to be a good husband while you're pregnant. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good father. Doesn't mean that he won't cuss you out. It doesn't mean that he's going to be faithful. It doesn't mean that he's going to be honest. And it just doesn't mean that he's going to treat you right just because he has money. And I just see so many girls online who have it all wrong. On the top of their list is, oh, he's a provider, or he must be rich, and things like that. It's just like, date a man who is compassionate, who is kind, who is loving, who is generous, has all these other traits that are super important to having a healthy relationship. And I'm just glad I had that experience while I was young, because now when I'm talking to men with money. Their money doesn't impress me whatsoever. The dinners don't impress me. Where they've traveled to doesn't impress me. Their car doesn't impress me, because I know it doesn't really mean anything as far as how you're going to show up for me as a partner. And I just wish more women could understand that so they don't have to learn the lesson the hard way.
You know, I think another thing that men are realizing is that modern women really they're not actually real. I mean, I know we have catfishing, and a lot of times that refers to the physical appearance of somebody, but you also have to look at the personality of who they are, right? A lot of these modern women put out an aesthetic. Well, I do this, or I'm this, I'm that way. And they say what they do, even on their profile. But then you actually get in real life and you see that they're a little bit different person. Sometimes it's not like, oh, they're toxic, yada, yada, yada. It's just that you're not really the person that you said that you were, or, you know, you kind of led somebody to believe in your dating profile. Right? And sometimes it can become maintenance for the dude. You know, modern women want you, so they'll say a certain thing because that's what they want to do, which is fine. But sometimes you're just not there. You got to work to get there. But you as a man, she says she's on board with you, but you're actually coming into her plan. You're actually doing the things, living the life and all that stuff, talking and speaking and dressing how she wants you to dress. So whenever she's saying all that on mine, you're gonna have to get in line with that and maintain that. If we need a car, if we need to go get a certain type of coffee every day. Oh, I don't like Starbucks. Starbucks is so last year. Let's go to Pete's Coffee or Dutch Bros or something like that. Oh, we don't shop at Walmart. We only go to Target. You know, that type of stuff. So she can tell her friends, this is the lifestyle that I live. But that's not really you. This is another element that men have to deal with. You might be cute, but the way that you handle yourself is fake.